What is good, everyone? It is your boy PhaseOne once again. My brand new song with Nosphere called Brunt just came out on Sounds of Mayhem. So just going to give you a quick little look into the project. This thing has been going on for like almost 2 years now, back and forth between me and him. So there's a lot of audio bounces and stuff like that. But it's a pretty messy file, to be honest. I'm normally much better at keeping it together, but I really wanted to put it on the end of year compilation, the Uprising II, so I quickly whipped it together. You know, a bit of a rush job, but it works. It works. Anyway, let's jump straight into it. If you haven't heard the song, go check it out. But I'm just gonna go through section by section, and we can kind of break down some of the elements. So it starts off like this. Kind of like a metal kind of ish riff. PhaseOne guitar emulator, great for discords, which is very true. The thing that makes the patch interesting is this little guy here. Actually, it is amp knob. It's by Bogren Digital. Jens Bogren, if you haven't heard of him, he's produced like some of the biggest metal records over the past, 3 decades maybe. Man's just been in the game for a long time. Anyway, he has plugins which are super affordable. So these ones are really good for guitar as well. I mean, they're meant for guitar, but I've used them on my Serum patch. They're essentially just a amp simulator. Let me just play it before and after. This is with the amp simulator. And without. So yeah, it's all Serum's doing really is just making some plucks with some like really tight attacks, and the LFO is just like affecting the filter to make it cut off really quick. Just kind of like how you'd make any pluck. The real sound is coming from the amp. So, and it's basically the same thing on the left and right, I believe. The right one is exactly the same, but I changed the wavetable just so it sounds slightly different. It's pretty minimal, to be fair, but I don't know. I just wanted some sort of variation between the left and the right. Yeah, that one sounds cooler actually. Without the amp simulator. So it sounds kind of silly without it. But together it sounds kind of nice. I've got one in the center as well. I felt like it needed it in the mix, I guess. I think it's just some preset that I found, but I also put the amp knob on it. So without it, it sounds like, yeah, it's silly, but it makes such a difference. And it kind of sounds like a guitar. Then we've got this guy, Grove Bass. It's a plugin. It's a Contact plugin. And it's by Submission Audio. They make a lot of cool guitar plugins and bass plugins and all sorts of really cool stuff. I use this in almost every song these days. It's like it just fills out that low end. I've recorded basses before, and I have never got the same like results as this. That's just doing like the bass line for that little groove. I've just got a bit of EQ on that, and that's it. It's just a straight plugin. I've also got some assisting layers here from a heavier 7-string, basically just following the same pattern as the bass guitar. Just chugs, but together it sounds nice. You've probably seen my metal drum tutorials before. It's all just one-shot samples, except I've got Contact. This is a Get Good Drums plugin called the Invasion. It's made by the guys from Periphery, so they're obviously very talented people. I just kind of use it for the cymbals, to be fair, because I'm happy with my little library of drum samples, you know. Yeah, the cymbals. I mean, like they're real recordings of cymbals as well. So they're good. Yeah, and then my little drum, I grouped everything together. The drum group's got just like a tiny bit of reverb on it to try and create like some room sound, essentially. So it's just kind of like a metal intro. There's a few little effects going on, like there's a clap and stuff. There's like a little beat. Some basic effects going on in the meantime, just to fill it all out. That's kind of it for the intro. Hey, yeah. Oh, my ears. Oh, why do we do that to ourselves? So yeah, that's the layer I forgot to tell you about. This fucking guy. God, it's just whatever the fuck that is. Just a wavetable. And it's just playing notes. It's nothing at all, essentially. And the whole sound is coming from the reverb, so it's just like making that one sound super wide and super roomy, and then it's downsampled with this Redux. So that's where this is coming from. Let me just play it so you can hear it. This is the part where it hurts the ears. Ouchie. Ouchie, ouchie. But yeah, you can hear what it sounds like without any of that. It's like literally nothing, you know what I mean? Obviously needed to EQ that a little bit because it's so ear piercing. But yeah, that just kind of creates a nice, like, crisp layer in the back. Covers that high end spectrum of the frequency, you know. But that's it for the intro. The build up, next section. Some little vocals here going on. Should be noted that everything is being sent to this here. So like my side chain, everything's just being sent there. So there's a few little things going on there, like some side chain and stuff like that. There's also some endless smile that I've automated for the build-ups like that. You can see, so everything goes up. It loses like the low end when it goes up as well. Like that. Also, there's a tape stop on there by kilohertz. This I use all the time for this part here. The reason I've got it on this is because I want everything to have the tape stop effect. So you'll hear it right here. Ready? It's like cuts everything out, and then you turn it off to bring everything back in. Cool. Yeah, build up is just a build up. There's the same elements as the guitar riff, but it's just playing a one note, kind of creating like a drone effect leading into the drop. We've got some drop elements coming in here as well. Jesus, this project is so messy. So yeah, that's just introducing some of the bass sounds, really. The vocal is just from a sample pack, actually. And then I put that on another track and put reverb on it and reversed it just to get like that backwards sweeping vocal with this thing here. Yeah. Oh, this is one of Nosphere's sounds. Little doop. Little zappy boy. And then, yeah, anyway, let's get into the fun stuff. Some drums. Here you go. Here's some drums for you. Yeah, I don't think there's too much to explain about that. Shout out Ivory for the snare. It's fucking punchy. I normally use my own snares for the songs, but I tried all my other snares and none worked. So we stuck with the original demo snare for this, which I'm totally fine with, because Ivory's the boy. Anyway, drums are drums. Only thing I have to say about drums is just pick good samples. That's it. The least you have to do them, the better. Basses, so we got a sub, nice fat sub. It's just operator. It's operator split to 2 chains, one for 2 chains, one for the low end, and then the high end we're putting dispersers on, cutting it right off, and distorting the shit out of it with some erosion. And then at the end, I'm just kind of, after both, I'm taking out some of the mid-range to allow room for the basses. So yeah, but it sounds fat though. Everything else is just a complete mess. Like, look at this stuff. There was a lot of audio bouncing back and forth, and at one point my computer decided to shit itself with all the theorems and things like that. So everything's audio. I prefer working like that anyway, so it's more visual. So anyway, first sound is this boy. We do love some yoys. So this main sound is essentially this guy here. Most of the characteristics are coming from the processing. Without it, it just sounds like this. Doesn't sound bad, but we want it to be a bit more tonal. So what you do is you find the frequency you want and you just crank it right up. And then slam some OTT on there. That's pretty much it. And, you know, EQ appropriately. So yeah, sounds like that. Some supporting layers like this. Yes, all the supporting layers with the main bass and the sub together. I then have all grouped together in a group which I call distortion because of this ring mod. I don't know the exact science behind it, but when you put more than one layer through a ring mod, it combines the sum of both signals or all the signals. So essentially what we're doing, we've got 2 chains here, one for the sub just to go through, and the one that's letting the higher end through, it's cutting off at 160. So if I just solo the distortion group, and you can get really crazy. Like the mix is only quite down low here. Let me put it all the way up. Yeah, super crunch. But yeah, for this song, it didn't need that amount of crunch because it's already quite loud and distorted already. But that's a cool little technique to do. Just make sure you cut off your low end so the low end's not affected. You just want the higher end to be perceived as like distorting, but it kind of keeps everything all glued together, which is nice. Yeah, bit of amp and disperser and reverb just kind of make it feel a bit more whole. Makes it kind of give like a bit of a room sound. And I like this song because it's bringing back the yoys. So it starts off with a variation. Nice beastly yoy. So pretty much what I did is I think the main sound, I just grabbed some of the audio from the first drop and just took it down an octave. Added a couple more layers in there. Just for some crispiness. Shout out Nasco, little Nasco gun. Just another layer, you know. There's nothing wrong with using samples. This was a serum patch for some tonalness, but it is now frozen, obviously, because this session got crazy. Yeah, more of this layer. So it's basically a variation of that first tonal pluck layer, except it's more atonal. It's, you know, all these things, they all just kind of sum up into one. Especially when you put it through that that ring mod with the sub, yeah. And there's obviously a screechy boy here as well. Alright, so this part, this is resampled, so this is what it sounds like now. It's really super blown out bass. So what I did is get my normal sub, which sounds like this, and I basically just blew it the fuck out using an EQ shape like this. Horrendous, very, very unconventional, stupid. But it sounds like this. It sounds awful right now. Super blown out. But so anyway, I then resampled it into this, and then turn that off now. And then this one is then even more so EQ'd, took all that disgusting muddiness out, added some high end to it, and sounded more like this. Still very overpowering, but you know, when you take out all those mid layers and add some crunch to it, in the mix it works. So like in the mix, it sounds like this. There's still stuff like that going in the background just to support that, and once again, that's all still going through the ring mod, so it sounds like this together. Yeah, so that's super blown out bass with the supporting layers. Oh man, it's confusing. This session's confusing. And then what else was there? There's a little yoink here doing this, and I've just got it going up in pitch using a pitch shifter. So yeah, that's that section, and then yeah, this is the part that I wanted to show you. So you can see all these layers, but actually they're not being used. So this one, it's essentially all just coming from the reverb. The reverb is cranked out, and then it's being automated, so it cuts off. So this sound is actually muted using a utility here that you can see, cut off, and it comes in. So it gets that like kind of sweeping effect. And these ones are essentially the same. I tried to make a little melody out of it, so I just pitched these around using the pitch knob. Yeah, but it's just that sound, but just stacked with reverb and pitched around. So there's 3 different notes there, kind of kind of weird, but it sounds cool. But that's kind of it for the tune, guys. Like, it's a messy one. Same thing here again with that resample blown out thing. It's kind of the gist of it. It's not a very exciting session to show, but at least you get to kind of have an insight on, you know, how it all came together, the back and forth, and the stems. Stems is always interesting to work with. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the song despite everything. It's out now on Sounds of Mayhem, the Uprising Volume 2. And yeah, just one last little quick note. Just thanks for all the support on the label this year. It's been a really fun adventure. And yeah, we're going to be doing a whole lot more next year. So thanks for the support. And you can look forward to a lot more music next year, baby. So yeah, go listen to the whole compilation as well. It's a big one. A lot of great artists we're working with. So peace out until next time.